Talk about pop will eat itself. Cleaning my milk steaming wand because a guy on YouTube saw it and couldn't stand the sight of it. So I'm now doing housework on behalf of a bloke who lives on the other side of the country and is subscribing to this YouTube channel. Mate, it is like the Matrix. I don't know what's reality and what's fantasy. Happy with that, Mike? Yesterday's video we looked at triggers that get you into that state of crankiness where you're ready to blow your top. I forgot one of my personal favourites, bad service in restaurants. Welcome back. So yesterday's vid we looked at all the things that trigger that state in you that gets you ready to blow your top. You've got some of your favourites, I'm sure, and I shared some of my personal favourites. We're really good at getting into the tree, but how do we get out of the tree? I know that not everyone's got the same circumstances. I know not everyone needs this advice. Some people have big mortgages, some have small. Some have big families, some have small. Some have got children that just are like Lord of the Flies, and some have kids that are perfect. In fact, that last group, don't even bother watching the rest of this video. Anyway, I'm going to show you what works for me. Acknowledge it. Know the warning signs that you are heading into the territory where you're going to blow your top. Know your triggers. Recognise when you're getting into a situation where that's going to happen. Recognise that the situation we find ourselves in right now is a shit sandwich and you're going to have to take a bite. Lower the bar. In the present circumstance, we have the distinct disadvantage of being a really professional bunch of people. We're used to getting things right at an extremely high level. The trouble with that is that the present circumstances don't allow for that. It's so chaotic at the moment that if you keep doing that, especially at home, you're only going to end up hurting yourself and your family. Now, I'm certainly not advocating lowering operational standards, but certainly when you're at home, lower the bar. You don't have to get everything right to the highest standard every time. The thought tree. So you're returning to your family and your mind is full of all those things that trigger your angriness and your crankiness. Mortgages, a fight you had with someone at work, money problems, you stood down. If you enter your family place in that mindset, there are going to be problems. So what do? Take all of those negative thoughts and as you pass that little bush near the front door, mentally place them in the tree. I know, it sounds stupid, but it actually works. Just the process of you putting those things into the tree and agreeing to leave them there unloads your brain and you can walk into that house feeling like you're in control and the weight of the world is just lifting off your shoulders. It's now family time. Similarly, for me, making a list somehow really helps to unload that feeling of stress. In the last 14 days of videos, we've talked extensively about just calming down, and the best way you can do that is by some form of meditation. Whether it's fishing or the Calm app, give it a go. It is worthwhile. Exercise similarly is worth doing every day. I've found the yoga app Down Dog to be extremely effective, and if I can do it, you can do it. Fat Bastardo yoga style is highly recommended, but if you don't like that, go for a walk, go for a run, just attempt to do some form of exercise. Share your problems. Share them with anyone that'll listen. I normally use the dog.
I did something wrong in the simulator, and then the walkies, and then he was really mean to me, and yeah, I know, and then I said I didn't mean to do that thing, and it walkies.
Handing over, Captain. This next thing is going to be pretty painful to admit, but maybe it's time to hand over control. I have, and my life's been better for it. At home, Mum's in charge. And that lets me flop around like a fish, and then when I come to my senses, I can come back and join the party. By laying off that responsibility, it gets you a lot of peace of mind. It keeps you out of that tree. On a more serious note, if none of this works, just walk away. Go and look at the sky and get away from the problem. If the situation threatens to spill over into some form of domestic violence, get away, get some help. Look at the end of the video for sources of help. The flip side of this stuff is to pursue bliss. Dancing works for me. Just do something where there is nothing at stake. There's no pressure. Read a book. Take your kids for a walk in the park. And you can kill two birds with one stone. I found a tile that fits the broken tile on my roof. Gold! My boy and I watched some weird manga videos. Jim and I rock out.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. You don't need the road. You just need to stand up. And that's the bottom line.
Give yourself permission to do something frivolous. Just walk out to the backyard, look at the sunset, or rock out in a great pair of undies. Finally, in all this mess, a day with a laugh beats a day without a laugh. Just try to retain your sense of humour. Here's a work of art by my 11-year-old Audrey that I am particularly proud of. Isn't it gorgeous? I think she's really captured something here. It's titled, "Plumber, I Can See Your Bum Crack." That's art. Sources of help are here. Please use them. Thank you for looking at this video. If you liked it, subscribe or share. And finally, the one thing I really love to do that gives me an enormous amount of happiness is just to sit down and watch a fire and crack a beer. Guys, look after each other. I'll see you out there. Feel free to join me on the couch and watch the fire for a couple of minutes. Enjoy.